And Sham Sharani of ESPN reporting.
Lies.
Yeah, it's true.
That
is true. There had been some reports that he needed hand surgery, and Anthony Davis retweeted them with lies in all caps. It's like the only time he's tweeted like in the last 3 years or something.
Exactly, man.
Like he came out of his social media hiding to call out some reporter with lies. Did you see actually the reporter? She apologized to AD.
Really?
She's like, I'm really sorry. I had been bad intel. I apologize.
Wow, I did not know that.
And I did not see a response from Anthony Davis.
Or didn't?
No, I think he felt like he made his point. But
yeah.
Interestingly, according to Shams, the trade market for AD, even though won't need surgery, but he's going to be out for the foreseeable future with that hand injury, is actually heating up a bit. And it might sound counterintuitive, but I have a theory as to why it makes sense to get into that. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Rich Paul, the honcho over at Clutch Sports, continuing his podcast, Game Over, with our old friend Max Kellerman. And he continues to make very provocative statements about the Lakers, and in particular, provocative statements involving Austin Reeves. Like, Austin seems to be the guy that he's focusing on with every episode. It's raising some eyebrows among Laker fans, reportedly inside the building in El Segundo. LeBron James, Rich Paul's highest profile client, who also, if you're not paying attention, plays for the Lakers. He's Austin's teammate. He finally shared some thoughts about Rich Paul's comments during this podcast last night after the Hawks win. So I've got some thoughts as well. We're going to get into that. 6:30, we're going to talk with Iztok Franko, a Slovenian journalist who knows Luka Doncic as a player, Luka's career.
Slovenia, huh?
Yeah, dude. Joining from Slovenia. Like, I had to, full disclosure, pre-record this interview because 6:30 our time, that's where we're going to hear from Iztok. It's like 3 a.m. in
It's
Slovenia.
3 a.m. right now.
Right.
3:05 a.m.
Right. So we had to do this ahead of time with Iztok, but
Would have been great if you woke up to do it.
he didn't want it that badly. I don't blame him. But he's covered Luka going back to like Slovenia and the Real Madrid time and time with the Mavericks, now with the Lakers. So that is 6:30. Again, Iztok Franko. It's really good stuff. And, of course, your calls at this temporary number, 213-799-0139, 213-799-0139. But we begin again with the previous 48 hours for the Lakers. Full display of their highest highs and one hopes the lowest lows. I'm going to start with the low. I'm not going to dwell on it that long because it's the less recent game, and also there's no point in making Laker fans relive it too much. But 124-112 loss to the Sacramento Kings, the Kangs' 10th win of the season. Just win number 10, a night where 42, 7, 8, and 4 steals from Luka Doncic, along with some solid to good nights from LeBron, DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, completely go to waste. The Lakers in this game could not make a shot to save their lives from behind the arc. 22%, 8 for 36. Other than Luka and Gabe Vincent, no Laker who played real minutes made more than 1 3. LeBron 0 for 5, Jake LaRavia 0 for 5, Marcus Smart 0 for 3, Luka 2 for 9, Vando 0 for 3, Dalton Connect 1 for 4. Kings shoot the lights out, 65%. That is insane. Until Bronny James hit 2 garbage time threes in the last couple minutes, Malik Monk, old friend from the Lakers, he had hit more threes than the Lakers had as a team. Malik Monk hit 7 threes in this game. Up until Bronny's 2 garbage time threes, the Lakers had hit 6. Russell Westbrook, one of the greatest let him take as many threes as he wants icons, like in the history of the NBA, another old friend, made 4. And combine that with DeMar DeRozan going 14 of 19.
Hey, people like lighting up their old employer.
Oh, it it really was. I mean, Malik Monk has no reason to be mad at the Lakers. Like, the Lakers financially, cap rules could not keep Malik. Like, they wanted to.
But they won him.
Oh, they won it. Look, Malik, the Lakers revived his career.
They did.
Lakers
He did. He really did.
So Malik Monk
He was in purgatory in Charlotte.
Right. Malik Monk has no reason to be upset with the Lakers. Russell Westbrook carries a grudge against half the league because they've all moved him around over the course of his career. But it was just a really, really deflating night. There had been expectations Rui would play on Monday. It turns out last minute he was a scratch because couldn't play both ends of the back-to-back. They decided to play him on Tuesday. And then heading into last night's game against the Hawks, we got word that both LeBron and Luka were questionable. LeBron, because 41 years old, sciatica, right foot arthritis, has not played a back-to-back to this point up to last night the entire season. Luka has been dealing with a groin and some lower extremity issues. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the last couple of weeks, it's seemed periodically like Luka's been uncomfortable on the court. Like, physically, he's looked uncomfortable.
Grimacing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. The workload for him has been a lot, so I can see that.
Yeah, so last night heading into it felt like deflating scheduled loss, second end of a back-to-back against a much more athletic team, a team that's better than their record in Atlanta. The Lakers week, which has 4 games in like 5 or 6 nights. It's just getting off to this terrible start. But then Luka and LeBron, like a true game time decision, both end up giving it a go, both dress, and the Lakers, they didn't come out of this game like burying Atlanta for a game that they ended up winning by 25, but there was like a lot of verve and a lot of activity in the way they played, like a lot of stepping up around Luka and LeBron, a lot of different guys who we're going to get into later in the show, really coming together to wash the bad taste out of everyone's mouth from Monday. But I want to start with Luka and LeBron, like in terms of thinking about this game. Like LeBron dealing with both age and injuries, Luka dealing with injuries. They both played like stars like star effing driven town stars. Luka has 26 points, 12 assists, 5 threes, incredible block weak side on Jalen Johnson. He was a big part of a second quarter that broke the game open with an explosion of three-pointers, setting up threes for other guys. LeBron, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 board shy of a triple-double, 12 points in the fourth quarter. Second quarter, he had back-to-back transition buckets. Like, LeBron was flying around in this game a lot. Like, it felt like pretty LeBron, like vintage LeBron.
Star effing driven talent.
Yes, that is what the Lakers had last night. A star effing driven performances from LeBron and Luka. And obviously this was great because the Lakers needed to win, and it's great when your stars step up. But coming up next, I want to get into why I think it was so significant. Like what those two brought in this game beyond the stats that I think really just set up the Lakers to win from the jump. Also get into some of the supporting guys. 213-799-0139 if you want to call in. 213-799-0139. Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, you've seen the billboard, you've heard the name, but now LA has a new number.
Ready for it, suckers? 800-345-6789. That's the new way to call Jacob. In a city full of stars, one number shines the brightest. 800-345-6789.
Same lawyer, same city, same results.
Just easier to remember. 800-345-6789. That's the new way to call Jacob, guys. Because life hits you hard, LA knows the play. Say it once, and it sticks.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
One briefcase, one moment, could change everything. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is giving you a chance to own your destiny in 2026. Play throughout the month of January, and on January 28th, one Club Serrano member will win the case, and with it, a finale spot in any 2026 promotion, plus $400,000. Which destiny will you choose? It's all happening at Yamava Resort and Casino, celebrating its 40th anniversary. You in? Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk. Despite being the second night of a back-to-back, LeBron still came out and put on a show.
Stolen by Luka. Ahead to LeBron. Slam dunk!
JJ Redick knows LeBron is a special athlete.
I don't take for granted the LeBron stuff. It's unfortunate, actually, how much this guy puts into it and how much he cares. And the way certain people talk about him, it's crazy. Come be around him every day and see how much this guy cares. It's off the charts.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710. You know about some time there, DeAndre?
I know a little bit.
You know a little bit about the time?
A little bit.
They're in the movie Purple Rain that you refuse to see.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet.
I know you have.
They were the villains in the movie.
Funchy and I have given up on this. Do you remember Funchy? I mean, DeAndre truly is just too young to remember this. Do you remember when Morris Day, the singer from the time, had a sitcom?
Yes, I do. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. What a time to be alive.
Anyone could have got a sitcom back in the day. Jeez.
They really, it was before they were looking for like every comic to get a sitcom. It was like a couple years.
For like
before,
every musician.
Yes. Yeah. But it was probably right around the time when Will Smith got his,
Probably.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah, I'm thinking like late 80s maybe.
Yeah. Morris Day, it was very brief. The sitcom did not last long. But Morris Day from the time, Jungle Love, The Bird, he did in fact have a sitcom.
It was called New Attitude.
Wow.
With Cheryl Lee Ralph.
She has been around
forever. I know.
Forever. Cheryl Lee Ralph.
5 decades.
From Abbott Elementary, which is just an awesome show. She has been kicking around forever.
I do remember the show. He was like a hairstylist.
Yes, which made sense because he had the pompadour himself.
Yes.
Like it's just what a time to be alive. So 213-799-0139. 213-799-0139. Going to take some of your calls in a second, but I wanted to mention before taking a few calls, Luka and LeBron, the performances that they had last night against the Hawks in this 141-116 win. LeBron, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 board shy of a triple-double, 12 points in the fourth quarter. Luka, 26 points, 12 assists. He had 5 threes. He had a few really good defensive plays, including a block on Jalen Johnson. His second quarter between his three-point shooting and his passing really helped break the thing open in ways that Atlanta never chipped down to single digits. The stats themselves, the production, all of that is obviously great. Like that helps lay the foundation for everybody else to thrive. And there were a lot of guys who played well in this game. But more than that, the fact that they had been both legit game time decisions, like there had been a lot of uncertainty about whether they would play in this game. It was the first time LeBron had played second end of a back-to-back. He recently said back-to-backs are TBD for him for like the rest of his career, probably like the rest of his life playing basketball. Like he could be 48. I don't know if he's going to play basketball 2 days in a row. Like it's always going to be TBD. Luka dealing with groin and other low extremity injuries. Like it would be understandable if the two of them had not played last night. But the fact that they did, maybe I'm playing armchair psychiatrist. You guys can weigh in and tell me what you think. It felt to me like everybody else was galvanized and inspired by that. And like the idea that, okay, if Luka, who's hurting, and the old man are going to go out there and play, all of us need to step up our game. Like this puts an accountability on all of us to raise our level as well. And it just felt like from the outset of this game, DeAndre, like these guys were ready to play and like geared up to play.
Yeah, they needed that. After that performance that they put up against the Sacramento Kings, the Kings team, remind you, got their double-digit winning column against the Los Angeles Lakers. And to your point, like you said, the fact that Luka and LeBron were legit listed as questionable going into the matchup last night, yes, it was rare because LeBron said it himself, I'm 41 years old.
Oh,
man.
I thought there was no chance
There's no
LeBron
chance
was
LeBron
play.
would play. Luka,
maybe Luka, but I thought there was no chance in hell LeBron would play.
but that was them saying, hey, we need to get back on track.
Yeah.
We can't afford to be sitting here and sitting out on games, especially a team like the Hawks, who you can say are better than the Kings.
They definitely are better.
They're definitely better than the Kings. So without them playing, who knows what the Hawks would have done without both of them in the lineup. So they were making a statement to the rest of the guys on that rotation saying, hey, we got to go out here and perform every single game because we're going to fall in the standings if we keep on putting up this effort.
And you don't want to go on a 4-game losing streak. Then all of a sudden it creates it's weird to say like pressure in a game against the Hornets on Thursday where it's like, okay, are we going to fall to 5, against this Hornets team that occasionally can be frisky? You get into the weekend. I believe they got a game against Portland. Like that.
And they got Denver.
Yeah. Then they got Denver. Like there's a lot coming up.
And they got Toronto. Sorry.
Yeah. They got Toronto who they've beaten, but they barely beat. It took that Rui Hachimura game winner. That was the game where LeBron's 10-point streak of 10-point games or double-digit games eventually came to an end. And it was an awesome win, but they barely won it. It was a buzzer beater. Like, you don't want that on your shoulders heading into those games. And then you look up and down the roster. Gabe Vincent was the first Laker to hit double figures. He scored all of his points in the first half. But that was, I thought, a really big spark as the Lakers started to get ahead of Atlanta after a back-and-forth first quarter. Jake LaRavia, he hit the first 3 that he put up, which I think mattered. Had 17 points in this game, 3 threes. Marcus Smart, 16 points. He had 2 threes, 4 assists, no turnovers. There was a second quarter sequence where he had almost like back-to-back-to-back drives. It was kind of him summoning his inner Leroy Jenkins. Like, he was just going in, man.
Yeah,
like,
he was.
Marcus Smart was – there was one drive where he basically went 1-on-5. I was like, Marcus –
Did you see that? Didn't he get fouled? Is that the one where he was coming on the left side of the wing?
Yep.
I was like, where are you going?
Oh, I was like, Marcus, you better know what – you better have a plan. Because there are times when Marcus drives and it's like, I don't think you fully thought this through, sir.
It was literally going to no man's land.
Yeah. But both of those – he had 2 drives where he ended up getting fouled. He made all 4 free throws. Then he had another drive where he ended up getting, I don't remember if it was like a baby jumper or a layup in the lane, but Smart, I thought, was a really good spark for them. Team high plus 32 in the plus minus. DeAndre Ayton, 17 points on just 9 shots, 18 rebounds. It was a game where I thought he was really active, like in terms of setting screens, rolling hard. I thought his presence on both ends was really felt in this game.
So all this is great. Like, I'm glad that they went out there and they bounced back off of that bad performance against the Kings. They responded really, really well, especially scoring 141 points. That was a testament to
They had an 81-point first half.
in the first half. That like a really good scoring night, which we haven't seen all year long.
I believe like the 80-point half is like the second time since like 2003 or something like that.
81
insane
points and a
stat.
half. That's like all-star. That's like an all-star game.
Now my thing is, I'm not trying to poo-poo on everything. I'm just saying, Here
comes the poo-poo.
Is it going to be sustainable? Are they going to we know the Lakers' 3-point shooting and their defense has been their biggest issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's blatantly obvious.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna can we expect them to shoot like this tomorrow night against the Charlotte Hornets?
To that level?
To that
No.
level, probably not.
No.
So that's where it's like, okay, you got to really rely on your defense. You got to get all guys bought in what JJ Redick is drawing up schematically. Everyone has to buy in. Luka has to buy in. LeBron, I mean, of course he's going to buy in.
Those two guys I thought last night were actually really active.
And they really active defensively. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they can't always just rely on offense. At some point, I just really want them to win a game, and it's just hard-nosed defense. Maybe that's just too much to ask. But I really want it to where their defense showed more than them just outscoring opponents.
If nothing else, you want to see the effort. You want to see the determination. Like they don't have the personnel to be a great four-quarter defense. Like they don't have the players, but you want to see the attention and the focus to detail, like trying to be the best version of yourselves. It will also help too if their offense runs better. Like they're a team that in a lot of ways their offense predicates their defense. Alex in LA, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Alex?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
It's always good to be on.
Thanks,
I was initially calling in to talk about the Rich Paul podcast thing, but your conversation, your chat kind of swayed me to talk about yesterday's game instead.
Do it.
Impressive that just about everyone, besides Vando, were in the plus yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best games of the season, without a doubt. I think the Lakers need to emphasize on the tape and see that if they move the ball around, if Luka and LeBron stop playing so much one-on-one, which you're going to do that in lapses of the game, but I would like to see more rotational basketball, more set plays that gets guys involved. And in turn, when you get the rock, when you get the basketball, when you feel valued on the offensive side of the court, you're going to go on the defensive side and play your ass off. Excuse my language.
No, that's all right, man. That's
I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate the call there, Alex. To Alex's point, like there had been conversation about DeAndre Ayton and his energy level waning during a couple-week period where he really wasn't getting the ball. And over the last couple weeks, without Austin, without Rui, we've seen defenses are packing the paint. And they are like, we will take our chances with Marcus Smart, with Jake LaRavia, with Gabe Vincent, with Dalton Connect. We will take our chances with those guys shooting from outside. When it's just Luka and LeBron, the only other proven scorer on this team is DeAndre Ayton. We are not going to allow him to get going. Some of that is DeAndre has to find ways to get himself going, to put himself in better positions to get the ball. I thought he did that last night. But touching the ball is going to make him feel more involved. The Lakers also, I saw a stat, 15-1 when DeAndre Ayton scores 15 or more points. So there's something in it for DeAndre when he gets the ball, but there's also something in it for the Lakers when you get DeAndre the ball. Going to talk next. I'm really excited for everyone to hear this. If you guys are not familiar with Iztok Franko, he is a Slovenian basketball journalist. He has been covering or observing, writing about Luka Doncic going back to the days with Real Madrid and the Slovenian national team, knows Luka as well in his career as anybody who covers Luka. Had a really good conversation with him. That's coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours presented by Delta Airlines, which offers an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic awards. Guests will also explore the VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. Visit CryptoArena.com/tours for more info.
Hey everybody, it's Cap. Is it time to sell your home? Whether you're downsizing, moving, or inheriting a property, call Seller's Advantage. With decades of experience, they offer custom cash solutions and can close in days. No repairs, no agents, no hassle, just a great offer that gives you peace of mind. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com. Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNLAcontests.com. That's ESPNLAcontests.com.
Hey, it's Travis. Every legend has a story, and those stories are kept at Legends Attic in Claremont. Legends Attic is the premier sports memorabilia gallery and store that offers a unique blend of rare and iconic collectibles. It's a community for sports fans and collectors, so go check it out for yourself. Legends Attic, 619 West Foothill Boulevard in the city of Claremont. Visit legendsattic.com and be sure to follow Legends Attic on all social media platforms so you can stay connected to know about their upcoming signings and special events with Hall of Famers and pro players.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
More Lakers talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
After the loss to the Kings in Sacktown, LeBron enjoyed the response from his squad in last night's victory.
One of the best responses we had this year under the circumstances, the way we've been playing lately. So to come out with that type of energy and effort on both sides of the floor was good. It was good, really good.
Lakers talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today. And all new Lakers talk is on right now.
Back to Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710. I would argue that my guess is Iztok Franko knows Luka Doncic as well as anybody covering the Lakers' new franchise face. He has covered and observed Luka closely going back to Luka's days in Europe, Real Madrid, the Slovenian national team. Iztok is actually joining us from Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia, right now as we speak. He writes the Diggin' Basketball Substack, great breakdowns of the NBA, the Lakers, Luka. He's a great follow on Twitter at Iztok, IZTOK _Franko, FRANKO. And we're going to get into what we've seen from Luka Doncic nearly 40 games into the season. In big picture, Iztok, how are you, man?
Good. Thanks for introduction.
I was saying earlier in the show how I felt like both LeBron and Luka suiting up last night against the Hawks, second end of a back-to-back, both had essentially been game-time decisions, really inspired his teammates to be the best version of themselves. And we're still learning about Luka as a leader. Does this feel in line with ways that Luka looks to lead?
Obviously, Luka, as Lakers fans, got to know him by now. I think his strengths and weaknesses are both very glaring. So I think that's why he's often also polarizing to his own fans, but mostly to other fans. But I think concerning last night game, I think wanting to play even when he's not 100% has been one of the things that he's always did for the national team, for the Mavericks, always to a fault, I would say, at times, especially in Dallas. So I think with him, it's typically, I think the medical staff, the team needs to hold him back because he would play banged up because he just wants to play, wants to compete. And I think this is something that he said post-game, that he wanted to play. And back to your point, I think yesterday's game, the way they played with LeBron playing on back-to-back, you could see the sense of urgency from both of these guys to play this game and to win this game, not only to play it, but actually win, and they did win convincingly.
You mentioned that polarization with Luka. Over the last few weeks, I've been starting to notice some Laker fans second-guessing the acquisition of Luka, starting to question his style of play, the heliocentric nature of it. He is really a one-way player. How far a guy like that can lead a team?
It's also the things that he doesn't do well are often glaring, and the things he does well are sometimes not seen as much. So I think that's why also his on-court behavior, he's very emotional guy. Like I said, I think, and these emotions can sometimes get him into trouble. Or on the other hand, like last night, you saw that second quarter when he gets hot, starts trash talking, starts hitting shots. I think he becomes one of the most unstoppable players in the NBA, basically. And we've seen this with the Mavericks in the playoffs. I think that emotional side, when it gets into irrational confidence, it's what really unlocks his personality on court, which can be this like cutthroat killer personality. We saw it, I don't know if you remember the Minnesota series, basically.
Yeah.
He was just hitting big shot after big shot to a point that Anthony Edwards said, look, we couldn't do anything. He was just nodding his head on the bench. And I think that's the good part. But sometimes, like I said, the emotional swings can swing the other way, and then it doesn't look as nice, or he's not as, let's say, as stable in a way in performances, in behavior as a guy, I don't know, I would say like SGA, who is complete opposite, who is always on the same level, playing with the same kind of emotion. So, as I said, with Luka, you get both part of the experience, and on the internet with fans, it's difficult to have the bigger picture perspective and appreciate both, or take both in with the good.
Moving on to Luka's season, we're almost halfway through. What do you make of how he's played so far?
Yeah, I think based on his past seasons, I would not count last season because it was such a strange season for him, getting traded, getting the first real injury of his career, trying to get back from injury, emotional swings. But I think compared to other seasons, I think he's a little bit less consistent during this season. And I think some of the reasons are also not only, let's say, depending on his play, but I think it's also should be taken in the context of the team. Because I think what we've seen not only from Luka, but from the team this season is that it's obviously a good, at times even very good team. But I think the construction of the team is not ones that, let's say, to put it in perspective, I think where he would thrive like he did in the past. So I think he's trying to find his niche playing in less than optimal environment, I would say. And also, when you see even last game, when they were playing with LeBron, I don't think Luka has any problems with LeBron, or LeBron has problems with Luka. But you could see that, and it's not only these two guys, but I think there's a lot of duplication of strengths and weaknesses on this team. Yeah. And like last times when this duplication gets into a positive direction, it looks awesome. But when they lose, it's often the duplication of weaknesses, or let's say less of the synergy that pops out. So this is, I think, bigger picture environment that you could take in consideration when we evaluate how he played. To me, I think the most positive part of this season, maybe not so obvious to fans, is I think how Luka is still responding to JJ and the team. I think when being challenged to play more defense, I think he really stepped it up with the effort in the last couple of days, or at the beginning of the season where they were really when they were really bought in and made this big run, early push. I think lately, if you look, he reduced his three-point attempts significantly in the last 6-7 games. So I think these subtle messages are getting through from JJ. And I think that, to me, it's the positive sign, because I think he is willing to adapt, of course, within the scope of his realm of superstardom.
We're going to talk before you go about the roster construction and the more idealized version of it in your mind. So that's definitely going to be coming up. Talking with Iztok Franko, covers the Lakers, the NBA, and Luka Doncic. You can subscribe to his Substack, Diggin' Basketball. You can follow him on Twitter at Iztok_Franko. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710. Luka's 3-point shot has probably been my biggest point of contention for the season. Actually, not probably, definitely. He has taken 10.2 a game behind just Steph for attempts. He's making them at a 32.7% clip. You got to go down to Noah Clowney at 34th for attempts before you get to somebody shooting at volume with a lower percentage. And this is keeping with a trend, Luka's volume over the last few seasons. It's bumped up. What's your take on him taking so many threes, like both in terms of a strategy, but also his own thought process?
I think when we were talking before about the upside and downside, let's say, of his game, of his emotional part, I think the 3-point shot, again, is the shot that when it's going in, it's really putting the ceiling like three levels above. So when we are talking about that Minnesota series, that's when he was hitting the 3-point shot, the most famous about against Rudy Gobert, the game-winning shot. So I think what Luka shown in the past, and also what he's showing this season, he's so good or so smart that he can survive, or he can, let's say, be efficient. He can be an MVP level candidate even when the shot is not going in at a high rate. But I think he's at his best when the step back is working, because then opponents are scared to switch a big on him. Opponents are, it opens up his drive, and that's when you get the 50-point games, even higher, like this scoring eruption. So to me, also if you compare him, for example, to a guy like Jokic or Shea before, I think having this ceiling, the possibility of, making 6-7 threes a game is what can put his ceiling even higher than these guys in certain circumstances. The problem, like you mentioned, is this consistency. So where he doesn't, then his ceiling can drop, and he's not as consistent as the other two guys that are mostly mentioned in the MVP consideration. So I think the good thing now, I think the recent trend that I mentioned is that he's taking less of these threes, but he's also, I think if you look at the last 3-4 games, I think he's making more. So I hope the shot will go in. What I noticed in the last couple of days, especially last game, I think playing with LeBron, he's getting more catch and shoot opportunities. Yes. And this is part of his shot that he really improved. If you watch him in the second season, he wouldn't even take the catch and shoot. It would be very unnatural. And this, I think, is where he really grew. Now they would run, ATO or baseline out of bound play for him. He would get a pin down and he would pop and get the catch and shoot shot. So this is something that he wouldn't do in his first seasons in the NBA.
In related stats, Luka is leading the league in free throw attempts, 11.8 per game. It's a career high, whether in raw volume or per 36 minutes. And it's interesting. There's been a lot of chatter from people who crunch the numbers, crunch film. I believe you're actually among the people who've talked about this. Luka's drives being down this season. He's averaging 14.9 drives this season, down from last season. There's been a steady decrease over the last several seasons running. 2-part question for you. Part 1, why do you think they're down?
Yeah, I think it's a complex question. And I think partially is when we were talking before playing banged up, I think driving 20 times the game takes a certain load. Getting to the line 15 times, I think everybody would want to look at drive every time. But I think just for the, let's say, to getting through the season, it's much easier to get, to your 30 points if you hit 3-5 step backs. So that's, I think, just the load managing within the game type of a, let's say, scenario. So I think that's a part that I would say fans sometimes forget. The other part is also the context of the spacing and this Lakers team. I think the shooting that's around Luka, the spacing, even by say some data, is the worst he has had in his career. A lot of people would show clips of Luka in his second season when he was like in the bubble, and physically I think that was his best season, and he was like just driving at the rim. But if you look at the context of that team, that was the best offense in the NBA that season, but it has basically 4 shooters around. So it has Kristaps Porzingis as the 5, Maxi Kleber was prime Maxi Kleber, who was great 3-point shooter, and then you had like Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway, Dorian Finney-Smith around him. So I think the context of that team was very different. That is the current Lakers team, especially last 10 games after Austin went down, after Rui missed games, when they started to play Wendo more, Smart more. It's a lot of non-shooting combination, not only one non-shooter, but often 2 non-shooters, because their bigs are not a stretch 5 bigs. They're basically guys at the rim. So I think if you look, maybe sometimes also his, let's say, frequency at the rim went down, but on the other hand, for the Lakers, they still generate shots at the rim, but for the big guys.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Iztok, and talking with Iztok Franko, covers the Lakers, Luka, the NBA. You can follow him on Twitter at Iztok_Franko. Subscribe to his Substack, Diggin' Basketball. No G, just Diggin' Basketball. It's interesting you bring that up about the frequency at the rim, because I was wondering how much you think it actually matters, the drives going down, because he's still getting to the line constantly, able to generate points that way. And his actual, assuming I'm understanding the numbers correctly, which is always a dicey proposition, but his actual attempts off drives and the field goal percentage off drives, basically the same as all those previous seasons. With that in mind, like, how much does it actually matter, do you think, if the drives are actually going down over the course of the last 4 or 5 seasons?
I mean, it matters some. I think the best offense is still generated when, not only for him, but for everybody else, when he's getting in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
So if you talk to any NBA coach, or you listen how they talk, one of the metrics they used in Dallas, I'm sure JJ has it, is like basically splitting the offense based on how many, if they touch the paint or not, or how many times they touch the paint even. So I think paint touches are very important, because it started the blender, the rotations, and it not generated rim shots, but often corner threes and things like that. So I think it's important, but I think it's also the nature of how a lot of the stars evolve. I'm not saying now Giannis or guys like that, because the rim is basically where they thrive and they don't have others. But I would compare Luka more like to a Chris Paul type, or I don't know, sometimes if you look at Kawhi, if you look at KD, guys that through age, they added other shots, which is mostly short mid-range shots. They can get, I would say, easily than with just getting by guys, but through their strength or through their footwork. So I think Luka physically and with skills, he evolved in that kind of player that I think he is now generating, let's say, paint shots or mid-range shots through contact, and that's why he's drawing fouls, and that's why I think it's a little bit, it's replacing attacking the rim.
You mentioned this current roster not being the idealized version of what you think should be put around Luka to maximize him. Whether at the deadline coming up or this offseason, Rob Pelinka is going to have, I think, more of a real opportunity to try to create that more utopian roster for Luka. How do you envision that? Like, what do you see as the best way to enhance Luka's strengths and also offset the weaknesses?
Yeah, I think, as you see through the history of how the Mavericks teams evolved around him, I think the first version, let's say the Storm the league in his second season, when they were with Rick Carlisle, the best offense, that was like going all in on offense. I think the Mavericks at that point with Carlisle, who is offensive genius, they really were among the first in this 5-out stretch basketball, and it was all offense. So just to surround Luka with shooters, with good offensive players, spread the floor, and basically it was very difficult to stop him because there was anywhere he would help, he would get punished by a good shooter. That evolved a little bit because I think one NBA adapted as well. It became much more physical, much more, let's say, defensive-minded, size returned, and that's how you saw the second evolution of Luka's team in Dallas, which was basically with a lot of athleticism, size, even defense. I think apart from Kyrie, they were getting guys like Derek Lively, who I think before his injuries had all defense potential. He was really an underrated. I did an analysis of him. I think early career, he was very comparable to what Rudy Gobert was doing. Okay? So he was really a disrupting, not only rim protector, but on others, and very intelligent screener, lob threat. Then they added Daniel Gafford, another aggressive, let's say, athletic big man, wing defenders in Derrick Jones Jr., PJ Washington. So I think this is, in a way, I think athleticism, we are talking about this all the time, but you could see even with LeBron, you know, the part of the Luka-LeBron game that worked without any question is the transition game. Yeah. Letting Luka grab the rebound and just find the athletic guy in transition. This is something, how you can play faster, how this offense can go from where it's now. I think they're 7th in the league to top 5, top 3, because they need more easy buckets. And this is when you get with more athletic guys around him, because he will find people in transition. If you're fast, if you can jump high enough, he will find you and you will get easy chances. So I think that's something. But I think even in Dallas, as I said, Lively, I think, had that potential, was just finding this defensive anchor. I think the easiest archetype, in my opinion, is a big, because bigs are the players that impact or increase the ceiling of a defense the most. You can build also around wings, but I think one or two defensive players that are really backbone of your defense. If you look at a guy who has a very similar play style to Luka, Jalen Brunson, very, let's say, offensive-minded, very heliocentric. So if you look at that Knicks team, it's a combination of past Mavericks teams. So it has like 3 athletic wings around him. In OG, who I think it's, to me, like one guy that really increases your ceiling defensively. You have Mikal Bridges, who is also a good defender. You have Josh Hart, who is the ultimate motor guy. But then you have Cat, who is like Porzingis, what Porzingis was to Luka in Washington, because it gives you that space, because it's a stretch 5. So I think these are some combinations or some ideas. I think it's because often I think I see this argument on the internet. Luka needs very specific players to build around him. I think you can be flexible, but I think some ingredients, some of the things where he is not great, which is athleticism, speed, needs to be put around to complement him to defensively, but also to unlock, I think, the other parts of his game where he can unlock and put let's say, the athletes to another levels. For example, Derrick Jones Jr. is the best example. He was a fringe NBA player or PJ Washington, and playing Daniel Gafford. Look at him now in Dallas. He's like lost. But next to Luka, they were like become the hottest commodities in the NBA.
He is Iztok Franko. He has covered Luka and observed Luka going back to his days in Europe, Slovenian national team, Real Madrid. Read and subscribe to his Substack, Diggin Basketball, Diggin Basketball. Follow him on Twitter at Iztok, IZTOK_Franko, FRANKO. Really appreciate the time, brother. Thank you, especially with the time difference. I know it's not easy.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite, always.
Awesome. Coming up, the Lakers Talk injury report. We're going to talk about Lakers health and other stuff with Jacob Emrani. This is Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Åberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
Focus Features presents the film Hamnet from director Chloe Zhao and producers Steven Spielberg and Sam Mendes. Discover the untold story behind Shakespeare's greatest masterpiece. Winner of more audience awards than any film this year, Hamnet is a monumental cinematic experience. And now it's the Critics' Choice Award winner for Best Actress, Jessie Buckley. Hamnet is the best picture of the year. Hamnet, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing only in theaters.
I know you're listening to me wearing glasses or contacts. You're either nearsighted, farsighted, have astigmatism, or you're just over 45 and have to wear reading glasses. This is Dr. Sarudi, and I promise you, I can help you with any of these issues. No anesthesia, no pain, no downtime, and if you qualify, I'll even guarantee you with 20/20 or better vision or give your money back. I've never had to after 60,000 cases. Call 855-NOW-2020. 855-NOW-2020. That's 855-669-2020.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk. Despite being the second night of a back-to-back, LeBron still came out and put on a show.
Stolen by Luka. Ahead to LeBron. Slam dunk.
JJ Redick knows LeBron is a special athlete.
I don't take for granted the LeBron stuff. It's unfortunate, actually, how much this guy puts into it and how much he cares. And the way certain people talk about him, it's crazy. Come be around him every day and see how much this guy cares. It's off the charts.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Thanks again to Iztok Franko for swinging by. It was not easy to find a time that worked with both of us because Iztok was talking to me from Slovenia. But he, again, knows the game well, but he also knows Luka very well. So very much appreciate that. Again, follow Iztok on Twitter at IZTOK_FRANKO. Also subscribe to his Substack, Diggin' Basketball. It's really good stuff. Let's talk to Mitch in New Jersey. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Mitch?
Hey, Andy. How you doing today?
Good, man.
Great. Great that they're able to come back. Hopefully stay healthy for the rest of the year. You see, Aiden had a good game, with Luka giving out the assists. I hope he can play with this every game, DeAndre Aiden. And these trades, possible trades, Mark or Kuminga, you see any of them happening? And thanks for taking my call, bro.
I appreciate the call. Jonathan Kuminga as a fit for this team, I don't picture the Lakers wanting to put their eggs in that particular basket. If I had to, I know that they can use athleticism. I know that they can use youth. Like, on paper, there is a lot about Jonathan Kuminga that totally context-free makes sense for what the Lakers need. The problem is the actual context, and Kuminga is a very isocentric player who very clearly wants to be a star. I don't know if that necessarily means he can't play with others, but and to be fair to Kuminga, I don't think the Warriors have really gone about trying to develop him the right way. Like, there's been a lot that I think he rightly can be frustrated about. I don't know if I want to be that second team taking the chance on him.
The Lakers already have trouble enough watching guys go one-on-one. There's not real fluid ball movement. What do you think Jonathan Kuminga is going to be doing? Yeah. When he gets the ball, it's straight up ISO ball one-on-one. That's why Steve Kerr is getting very, very frustrated, because he's trying to do the same Steph Curry run off a million screens. It still works in Stephen Curry's favor, but that's why you see Jonathan Kuminga and the frustration between him and Steve Kerr.
Right, and like the difference between someone like him and Malik Monk, Malik has actually turned into a pretty good playmaker. Like, Malik can be a gunner, and he's a scorer, and he's a microwave guy, and as we saw last Monday, when he gets hot, and I'm sure Laker fans remember this from his season with the Lakers, he can get really hot. But Malik will actually move the ball. Like, I don't know if Malik addresses everything this team needs, Malik Monk, just because they need more size, they need more defense. Like, Malik Monk is not a good defender at all, and he's a really slight guy. He would make the team more athletic, and he would provide – if the Lakers could get Malik Monk without giving up anything other than expirings, I would be interested in that. Like, if Sacramento just wanted to get off Malik Monk's money, I could see Malik fitting with this team. I think he's under contract for another 2 years, but it's not unreasonable money. It's about $20 a season. Depending on who else is still on the books for the Lakers, I think you could make that work. Jonathan Kuminga, I understand why Mitch would be interested, but just I am not going to be the team.
Do you guys
that
feel
rolls
like
the
it would
dice.
work? Kuminga could work in a post-LeBron with just a Luka-dominated Laker team.
That's the problem, though. As DeAndre said, Kuminga wants to dominate the ball a certain amount. Like, unless you're just going to make Jonathan Kuminga like your designated, he's the guy when Luka's out of the game, when Austin Reeves, presumably still on this team, is out of the game. Like, you do a lot of let Kuminga cook. In some ways, it doesn't totally feel fair to him because I don't think they've done a good job developing him. They've clearly not bought into him, but they've been unwilling to trade him at the same time. But the Lakers this offseason have a real opportunity to try to build around Luka in the best ways possible, in the ways I was just talking about earlier with Iztok Franko. I would not be rolling the dice on Jonathan Kuminga. That's just me. Coming up, though, maybe Rich Paul has some ideas about whether or not the Lakers should trade for Jonathan Kuminga, maybe trade Austin Reeves for Jonathan Kuminga. He's certainly been talking about the Lakers and talking about Austin Reeves, playing Austin off the bench. A lot of Austin talk from Rich Paul in his new podcast with Max Kellerman. That's coming up next. Lakers Talk, 710 ESPN.
Coverage and content of the 2026 College National Championship on ESPN LA is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. Plan your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. See for yourself what made readers of Newsweek and USA Today named Pechanga the best casino outside of Las Vegas. Visit Pechanga.com for more information.
We've all heard mortgage rates have finally moved down. So if you've gotten a mortgage in the last 2 years, contact the Loan Exchange to check on lowering your mortgage payment. Today, the Loan Exchange is offering a 30-year fixed free closer loan at 5.5% rate and APR. That's right, there are no closing costs. Wow, you can lower your monthly payment without increasing your loan balance. Isn't it worth a few minutes of your time to find out how much the Loan Exchange can lower your payment? By the way, if rates go down further next year, you can do the same thing again without any closing costs. Call the Loan Exchange at 855-752-9944 or go to theloanexchange.com for a free closer 30-year fixed rate and APR of 5.5%. NMLS 1637539. Loan subject to credit approval. See website for licensing information, loan terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com.
With America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid, backed by America's best warranty. The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. It's the best of both worlds.
Now, lease a Hyundai Tucson for $269 a month or get 0.99% APR financing for 60 months. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end February 2nd. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. This is Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN.
It was the second night of a back-to-back, and the Lake Show looked to LeBron and Luka to lead the way.
LA's going to win it 141 to 116. A nice rebound performance.
It's just a really complete game from our team. To me, it just like the commitment to each other.
JJ Redick likes the bounce-back win, and Luka enjoyed the victory on their home floor.
Today was very fun. We shared the ball great. We knocked down shots, so it was very fun out there.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
And all new Lakers Talk is on right now.
Here's Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710 here until 8 o'clock. Again, appreciate everyone for being here. If you want to call in, 213-799-0139. Again, 213-799-0139. Different number, temporary number. Any idea how much longer we're going to have this number?
No, I don't.
Nobody
I haven't heard any
seems
updates yet.
Nobody seems to know.
Well, until they can get the old number back. That's what I've heard.
I'm just saying, like, they're, and I think we're going to be talking to him in the next hour. Jacob and Ronnie maybe can cut through some of this red tape because he got an incredibly difficult phone number. That one that he has right now, the 800-345-6789.
Man,
that
he's probably been waiting for that for years.
Probably been waiting for years, but that is not easy to get. Like, the first time Jacob came on for the Lakers Talk injury report, I just asked him point blank, did that cost you a nice little chunk of change and, some difficulties? And he said, absolutely. So maybe we get Jacob involved. I know he's more of a personal injury lawyer than like a phone number litigator. But maybe Jacob can get involved with this and get us back the old number. I imagine Jacob knows people. Jacob knows somebody probably involved with doling out phone numbers. Real quick before we get into this Rich Paul situation, the comments. Peter in L.A., you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Peter? Peter, you there?
Yo.
Yeah.
It's Peter, man.
Good.
I'm ready to give you my take.
What's up?
I want to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, cool. You want me to tell you what I'm going to say?
That would be better, than just waiting. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I want to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr., about possible trading him for AR. He would help us tremendously. Wemby's young. This Jaren Jackson Jr. is 26. We need someone that's going to be able to battle with him. I'm not saying he's going to stop him or anything like that, but we need bigs. Bigs are becoming more popular right now as far as dominance here.
Okay.
And OKC's got, bigs too.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the call there. We're gonna get into this. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a good player. I like him. There are some drawbacks with him defensively. Also, as we'll get into, I don't think this scenario that was, Peter helped seg this, set up by Rich Paul on his podcast, Game Over with Max Kellerman, part of the Ringer Network. He proposed the idea. He's been talking a lot about the Lakers, and in particular talking about Austin Reeves' place within the Lakers. In the debut show of Game Over, he had mentioned the idea, or at least co-signed the idea, that Austin Reeves on a truly elite team would play off the bench. Now he is proposing scenarios involving trades for the Lakers that involve Austin Reeves, this one to the Grizzlies. Here's what he had to say.
If I was the Lakers, I would probably be targeting the Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner
for
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, that'd be a great fit.
I would.
For whom?
Well, that's the thing, because you got to figure out the package. But some way, somehow, I would be trying to get Jaren Jackson, maybe get back G.G. Jackson and Jackson Associates, because he's a young player that you can develop, got good size, can shoot the ball. But I think if you're building around Luka going forward, which they are,
you need a guy like that.
You need that anchor. And Jaren doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. They just put Ja Morant on the market, right? Saying that they're willing to trade him, et cetera.
It's a great call.
So I think that would be a trade partner for me. Now, the package just goes out is what you have to decide. Because if you're able to trade out expirings and give up the last first-round pick you got, that could be one scenario, right? Or you could say, let me withhold that, but this comes with
Austin Reeves.
This comes with a very unemotional attachment because Austin is beloved, which he should be.
But he's about to get paid.
He's an underdog. And here's the thing. If there's a world where you can do what's best for your team and do what's best for Austin, because Austin deserves to get paid right now.
And like I said, this is also coming on the heels of Rich Paul co-signing Max Kellerman's opinion that on a true championship caliber team, which Rich Paul said he doesn't think the Lakers are as currently constructed, which for what it's worth, I actually agree with Rich Paul, that Austin would be playing off the bench, but also said, Austin would still be getting paid. Like Austin should get paid. And, he was not going out of his way to insult Austin Reeves, but at the same time, we all know bench players do not get paid like all-star caliber starters. Like that world does not exist. So,
and would this trade even work as far as on the court?
Yeah. Well, okay, there's a few things about this that I feel like Rich Paul is overlooking, and there's also the politics of all this, the potential line crossing. Dave McMenamin from ESPN reported, quote, one of Reeves' agents, Reggie Berry of AMR Agency, approached Paul on the sideline near half court at halftime of the Lakers-Hawks game. The two of them spoke for more than 5 minutes, and the topic of conversation was Paul's public trade scenario about Reeves, sources told ESPN. So there is a lot to unpack here, like I said, and we're going to get into it. The concept of, is Rich Paul crossing lines with talking about
You think his agent was like, would you say punk?
Oh, I don't know if he said, what are you saying, punk, but...
Would you say punk?
He said it exactly like
What'd
that.
What'd you
say? Keep my client's name out your mouth.
You think he slapped him? You think he slapped Rich Paul? Keep my client's name out your effing mouth. And then Rich Paul's like, he just slapped the bleep out of me.
Yeah, exactly.
They just recreate the whole thing.
I hope Austin's agent sounded like Mr. T when he confronted him, too.
I pity the fool that talks about Austin Reeves.
That's what I'm saying.
But, okay, so there's a lot of different layers to unpack. And this is also the how does this affect LeBron? How does this make LeBron perceived? But the basketball piece of this that you brought up, Funchy, I like Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he is a really good player. He's obviously a plus defender, former defensive player of the year. He's a very good shot blocker. He is a solid, if not elite, floor spreader and three-point shooter. I think his reputation is better than the actual results. He had one season where he shot about 38 or 39%. The rest of his season have been low 30s or even high 20s. He's not quite the floor spreader that he's seen as, but he's obviously a really good player. And maybe some of the three-point shots would be better with looks created by Luka. I suppose LeBron is sticking around as well. Jaren Jackson Jr., though, he's a terrible defender. For a center, for someone of his size, he is a really bad defender. He also is dicey to have as your defensive anchor because he gets into foul trouble a lot. He picks up stupid fouls a lot. Laker fans only have to think back to last week in the back-to-back games against Memphis. Both those games the Lakers won. Jaren Jackson Jr. picked up dumb fouls in both of those games. And then there's also picture Jackson Hayes, his propensity for picking up fouls, but an entire defense built around Jackson Hayes. That's, in some ways, you have to really think about it that way, because if he's your anchor, and I think this is one of the reasons that Memphis has only gotten so far, your defensive anchor always getting into foul trouble limits how good of a defense you can be. But but even if you like Jaren Jackson Jr., the other piece of this that, to be totally honest, I feel like Rich Paul is either inexplicably missing or willfully ignoring, He said Jaren Jackson Jr. is 26. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. Why would Austin Reeves, who's turning 28 in May, want to be part of a rebuild? Why would Memphis, as part of a total teardown, want a 28-year-old player that they're going to have to give the bag if they're going to keep him in Memphis? Like, why would they trade Jaren Jackson Jr. for a package where the prime piece, Austin Reeves, is a walk-away free agent when there are other teams around the league that can pay Austin, and including, by the way, the Lakers, who seem to want to pay Austin? If I'm Memphis, this trade doesn't actually make any sense for them at all. Like, I would actually rather have the picks and the expirings than Austin Reeves, because if Memphis, they've traded Jaren Jackson Jr., they've traded, in this scenario, Ja, they've already traded Desmond Bane. What do they want Austin Reeves for? Like, that's the part of this that doesn't actually make sense to me at all.
I do believe, like you said, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a phenomenal player. There's a reason why he got paid with the Memphis Grizzlies. There's a reason why he's an all-star.
He's a good player.
I feel like he has a lot of expectations this season, and I know he gets into foul trouble. I know he does a lot of he gets in those dumb situations that he puts himself in. However, I think it will be better alongside another big man. I know that's what the Lakers were trying to do. Sure. Or Anthony Davis, remember, he was coming out saying, pair me alongside with another big man, moving to the four. Jaren Jackson Jr., the Grizzlies got the most out of him when he was next to Steven Adams, when he was next to Zach Edey. Like, when he was able to kind of float around a little bit more, and then there's two big men. So I feel like, yeah, that could work in a different scenario. However, like you said, it would not make sense whatsoever for both sides, for being honest. Austin Reeves, I feel like no team is going to try to get into any market with the Lakers with their expiring contracts, because they know that those guys have the potential to test free agency and walk.
I mean, like, they don't care if Gabe, like, in this scenario, if, like, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, maybe Rui, whatever, if you're stacking salaries, Memphis is not going to sweat those guys walking, particularly if they're getting picks out of this. Maybe they're intrigued by Dalton Connect, second team, totally new atmosphere, closer to, back at Tennessee, hometown boy comes back. Like, I could picture something like that. The actual scenario that makes the most sense for the Lakers is trading all that stuff for Jaren Jackson Jr. while keeping Austin. Like, that's actually the scenario that makes the most sense for the Lakers, which I don't know if Rich Paul is necessarily going to get into, because that certainly guarantees his highest profile client, LeBron, ain't going to be part of this team.
And I just want to make this clear. I say it all the time on my Lakers Talk Daily, which you can catch on ESPN Los Angeles YouTube channel at 11 a.m.
Boom! I've trained you well.
Stand pat. Ride this season out. Let's see how it goes. But just be ready for the offseason. You have a lot. I mean, I'm not going to say they have all this wiggle room, but they have enough to try to build a team around Luka Doncic the ideal way, not playing their cards right and just trying to see who they can get right now. No, they have time to have proper planning and the right execution. So I'm along with you in those lines.
All right, coming up though, I want to get into the small p politics of this, and like Rich Paul making these type of statements, like having his own podcast and using essentially the Lakers and by proxy LeBron as content. Like, how is this being received around the league? How might this be received by Austin Reeves? What does this do for the perception of LeBron, fair or otherwise? Want to hear from everyone. 213-799-0139, 213-799-0139. Want to hear from everyone your thoughts on this scenario getting floated by Rich Paul. Do you think he overstepped boundaries? Get into all that coming up next. Lakers Talk, 710 ESPN.
The best way to start your morning is with Sedano and Cap. Until Cap turns it into this.
I love Cher. How old is Cher now?
Gotta be like 80.
Yeah. In a weird way, she's still very hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't you think? Oh, my God.
79 years old.
She has a boyfriend that's like 28.
Right. That's what I'm kind of saying,
You're
like
saying
Georgia, right?
Sedano literally spitting water out. As Cappy said, Cher's still hot.
She's hot like Martha Stewart is hot, right?
It's a weird way.
Listen, we all are disgusted by, like, Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend and what's going on there. Nobody's disgusted by like Cher being 79 and her boyfriend being in his under 30.
Man, you've been holding all these takes in for weeks.
I needed you guys.
You never know what's coming next on Sedano and Cap, where the hot takes stay hot, no matter the age. Weekday mornings starting at 7 on ESPN LA.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Introducing Los Angeles' new most trusted injury hotline.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
Thinking about selling your home? Seller's Advantage makes it easy. No agents, commissions, open houses, or costly repairs. They'll give you a fair cash offer with no surprises. One seller said, and I quote, Seller's Advantage was faster, easier, and more rewarding than listing my house. The offer matched my expectations, and the process was stress-free. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344.
More Lakers talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
After the loss to the Kings in Sacktown, LeBron enjoyed the response from his squad in last night's victory.
One of the best responses we had this year under the circumstances, the way we've been playing lately. So to come out with that type of energy and effort on both sides of the floor was good. It was good, really good.
Lakers talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today. And all new Lakers talk is on right now.
Back to Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers talk. Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA, 710. We are talking about Rich Paul's comments on the Game Over podcast, Ringer Network, with our old friend Max Kellerman. Max actually dropped by Mason in Ireland today. That was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Came on to talk about what everyone's talking about. Rich Paul coming up with hypothetical roles for Austin Reeves, trades for Austin Reeves, how the Lakers should assemble themselves, all sorts of stuff. You know, DeAndre and I were talking before about how the deal that he proposed, and he raised a lot of eyebrows, Rich Paul, because he suggested a trade where the Lakers move Austin Reeves to Memphis for Jaren Jackson Jr. We talked about how, from a basketball perspective, you could be interested in Jaren Jackson Jr. This does not really, in either of our opinions, make any sense for the Grizzlies at all. But there's also the question, too, like, the ethical piece of this, the professional piece of this, the why are you doing this, Rich Paul? Like, the what are you doing? What's the end game? What's the point of it piece of this? Like, it is highly unusual. And by highly unusual, I mean unheard of, for agents to be publicly floating trade suggestions involving players they don't represent, who happen to be teammates of their clients, in this particular case, the highest profile client of LeBron James he's ever had, essentially as content, like for clicks. Like, this is unheard of stuff for a reason. As I said earlier, Dave McMenamin from ESPN reported that last night during the Hawks game at halftime, one of Austin Reeves' reps talked to Rich Paul for about 5 minutes. Presumably the conversation was something along the lines of, what the F, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, the tone of the reporting sounded like Team Reeves was not thrilled about this. There was an article
What'd you say about me, Rich Paul?
I pity the fool talking about Austin Reeves. As I mentioned earlier, the Front Office Sports, the publication, they have a piece up about this, and there was a team exec anonymously, but told Front Office Sports that they found Paul's comments, quote, insane and effed up. And then Jovan Buha, who covers the Lakers for the Buha's Block podcast, friend of the show, he was doing a Q&A and was asked about this and asked about reports or rumblings that the Lakers internally are not happy about this. And Jovan said, quote, I can confirm that people have not been happy. I'm not going to go more specific than that, but I would just say people have not been happy with that pod. Jovan then went on to say that, some of the initial comments, like the Lakers not being contenders from the debut episode of Game Over, like, the Lakers may not have been thrilled to hear that voice from Rich Paul, but if you gave him truth serum, they might concede, or at least someone would concede there's some truth to it. But, like, getting into specifics that involve trading Austin Reeves, who the Lakers have been very, very openly signaling they want to keep around. They want to lock up Austin Reeves this offseason as part of their future. For Rich Paul to continually talk about Austin Reeves like this, it does not seem appreciated, as Jovan went on to say, quote, that is uncommon for an agent to be commenting on his player's team, in this case, LeBron, and basically saying, I would trade this guy, especially a guy who's sort of in contract competition with his guy, which is part of an unspoken piece of this, the idea that LeBron and Austin are both potential free agents, depending on what LeBron James does with the rest of his career. For what it's worth, I would disagree with Jovan. I don't think it's a true competition, because if the Lakers are choosing, it's going to be Austin. Like, I cannot imagine a scenario where they choose LeBron over Austin. But like Jovan said, this is unusual, and to be totally honest, it's line crossing for Rich Paul to be going there. Like, whether for clicks, whether because, and there's a big perception of this, he's trying to antagonize the Lakers, like just making things uncomfortable for them. And I say this because it's on the heels about his original comments regarding Austin coming off the bench. It's coming off the heels of LeBron opting in and Rich Paul issuing that statement upon the opt-in, which in and of itself, again, highly unusual, never happens. Basically saying, we've had a great relationship with the Lakers, but LeBron, wants to be competitive at this stage of his career, so we're going to be weighing options, surveying the landscape as the season goes along. Even though Rich Paul has openly acknowledged on the Game Over podcast, where the hell would LeBron go? Like, where are you going to trade him? Like, trading LeBron is incredibly complicated. So it feels, I know to a lot of people, certainly a lot of fans I've heard from, and honestly, from the outside looking in, I would say it looks like he's either trying to make people in the franchise uncomfortable, maybe because he's upset that LeBron was not given another 1+1 player option sort of in perpetuity, or it's just, he's in the attention economy now as a podcaster.
Or what if he's trying to do that to also put the pressure on the Lakers front office? Because, the comments that were made before the season started that LeBron wants to play for a championship-level competitive team. So Rich Paul doing all these different trade machines. We know he said it himself that he's now in the business side of content. I mean, can two things be true at once, like they always say?
There's a very good chance that the number one MO of all of this is the clicks and the views and the attention. Like, all of us in this space, we are in the attention economy business. Like, all of us are, whether we want to admit it or not. It's just how you go about trying to generate that attention. And maybe it is like a pressure type move, but to be honest, I think if Rich Paul's end game is to get the Lakers to make a move, I think this is the wrong way to go about doing it. First of all, if they do this, it's not going to be on behalf of LeBron. It's going to be on behalf of Luka. Like, they're going to be wanting to build around Luka. It's really got nothing to do with LeBron one way or the other. But it's a very strange way to go about doing this, like basically talking about LeBron's teammates, the moves I would potentially make. Like, it's not a way that I think is going to ingratiate goodwill between the Lakers and Rich Paul. But also, too, the piece, and for what it's worth, there's a part of me wondering, I will get into this coming up next. There's a part of me wondering something with Rich Paul and Clutch that maybe explains this. And then also, I want to get into the LeBron of it all and how I think this affects the perception of LeBron among Laker fans in ways that may not be totally fair to LeBron, but in some ways he's made his own bed with this. So explain all that coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry nonstop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour nonstop freshness, so you can smell unstoppable.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, "Where have you been my whole life?" to a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Lease a brand new 2026 Subaru Outback Premium CBT for $349 a month plus tax for 36 months.
One at this payment. VIN TY 457-11-3. MSRP $37,275. $33.99 due at signing.
Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net.
7,500 miles a year. Model code TDD-11. Must take delivery by February 2nd, 2026. Subaru Motors Finance. Lease rates extended to well-qualified buyers with above average credit. Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers may qualify.
One briefcase, one moment could change everything. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is giving you a chance to own your destiny in 2026. Play throughout the month of January, and on January 28th, one Club Serrano member will win the case, and with it, a finale spot in any 2026 promotion, plus $400,000. Which destiny will you choose? It's all happening at Yamava Resort and Casino, celebrating its 40th anniversary. You in? Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
4? Man, my drives have been getting weaker and weaker. The same thing happened to me when I turned 40. Men over 40 lose more than just their golf game. Energy, strength, stamina, it all goes downhill. I got Nugenix Total T2 and started feeling like my old self in no time.
America's most trusted testosterone-boosting brand is back. Nugenix Total T2. Crafted with a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle today by texting BEACH to 369-369 now.
All right, let's test this out. Wow, that's on the green, man. Looks like I got my drive back.
Text BEACH to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2. Text now and we'll even throw in a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
710 ESPN.
The radio home of the purple and gold and the home of Lakers talk. Despite being the second night of a back-to-back, LeBron still came out and put on a show.
Stolen by Luka. Ahead to LeBron. Slam dunk.
JJ Redick knows LeBron is a special athlete.
I don't take for granted the LeBron stuff. It's unfortunate, actually, how much this guy puts into it and how much he cares. And the way certain people talk about him, it's crazy. Come be around him every day and see how much this guy cares. It's off the charts.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
More Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky rolls on.
Hey, come on.
Lakers talk. Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA, 7:10.
God, I love James Brown.
Have you ever heard his box set Star Time?
No, I have not. No,
dude, it is so good. It is
Check it out.
Incredible. It's like I have the cassettes at the time. I don't know how many CDs it is. I think it was like a 4 or 5 cassette box set. It is incredible. Like, unbelievable. It's called Star Time. If you're a James Brown fan, definitely.
I've been seeing a lot of James Brown videos on Twitter lately.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, look, man.
Like from the 70s and stuff like that. And
What-
also, I don't know from how long ago, maybe 20 years ago when he was still alive, but Eddie Murphy doing his impression of
Yes.
James Brown right in front of him in concert or something somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
On stage.
Oh, yeah. Apparently James Brown loved it like he used to do Richard Pryor. The only person that Eddie Murphy would impersonate that famously hated it was Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby.
You know,
had-
Camille.
The
Yes,
kids
that's
and the
what
pudding
it is. Yeah,
pops.
that's what it is.
No sense of humor whatsoever.
That's what
Bill
and
Cosby.
that was his bit in Raw too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie, I don't like you. Appreciate you impersonating
Exactly.
me like this.
Exactly.
All right. So talking before about Rich Paul's comments regarding Austin Reeves trade idea that really this one he was floating. Like before with Austin coming off the bench, that was something Max brought up. And if you want to play devil's advocate, you could say Rich Paul was more yes-anding than proactively getting into this trade involving Austin and the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr. This really was Rich Paul proactive. And before getting into the LeBron piece of this, there's a part of me that's actually wondering if Rich Paul is looking relatively soon to pivot out of the agency business, out of Clutch, and full-time into content. Because I know Clutch is more than just LeBron. I know it is. And because I don't want to be disrespectful to Rich Paul. Like, he has been a better agent than that. And like what he's built with Clutch is legitimately impressive. Like, I want to make sure that's clear. But it is still something that is seen as a partnership between him and LeBron. It's something that he and LeBron helped build up together. Rich Paul's instincts and work and intelligence as an agent combined with LeBron's clout. And with LeBron closer to the end than the beginning, it's just got me wondering if Rich Paul is potentially looking to pivot out of this, because I know this much. If I was a Clutch client, I would not want my agent talking about my situation, my team, in ways that could get me side eyes from my teammates, create questions that my teammates have to answer or I have to answer or whatever in the name of content. Like, I just would not want that. That is not something I would like as a client. And maybe, I've never been in these guys' situations. I've never been this type of athlete. Maybe we're all making too big a thing of it. But I would guess I'm not alone in thinking that way, that other athletes would feel
I got one better though for Rich
Sure.
Paul.
Sure.
I think he should just get out of, once LeBron retires, get out of the, being the agent of players, and also get out the content business and just follow my wife around.
Why?
It's just making a lot more money.
Oh, you mean his wife?
Yeah, Rich Paul's wife.
I thought you meant your wife. You're
No,
talking about
Rich
Adele.
Paul.
You're
Rich
talking
Paul.
about
I'm talking about Rich Paul. If I was
Talking
Rich
about Adele.
Paul,
Okay,
yes.
I thought you meant following Mrs. Funchy.
No, I'm talking about
I'm
Mrs.
lost.
I'm talking about Mrs. Paul. I mean, I don't know if they're married yet, but yes.
No, they've been together a while.
Yeah.
They have been together for a while. But in the meantime, this obviously has people wondering, is Rich Paul speaking into existence or trying to speak into existence something LeBron wants? Like, this is him talking on LeBron's behalf. And LeBron was asked by ESPN last night, I presume Dave McMenamin. These are comments given to ESPN. Report from Dave McMenamin. Quote, I think you all know by now, Rich is his own man, and what Rich says is not a direct reflection of me and how I feel, and I hope people know that. This is from Dave McMenamin's report. I hope people know that, and they're not sensible to know, and if they're not sensible to know that, then I don't know what to tell them. He later said, Rich, that's what he's doing. That's his whole thing, and he had mentioned Rich Paul did not did not give LeBron a heads up that he would be doing this, or I guess ask, if not LeBron's permission, his comfort level, like whatever about doing this. But he said, Rich, that's what he's doing. That's his whole thing. That's what he's doing. That's what he's talking about. But I have zero conversations about what his topics are going to be or what they're going to talk about. He is his own man, and that is his own platform. And then he said, AR, Austin Reeves, knows how I feel about him. All you got to do is look at us on the bench. Me and AR talk every single day. So AR knows how I feel about him. And I hope AR or his camp don't look at me and think this is words from me that are coming through Rich. Rich has his perspective of what he sees. I have my perspective. I'm a grown man. He's a grown man. And I think people should realize that grown men can say whatever the F they want, and it shouldn't reflect somebody else is saying it. Here's what's interesting about this. Just those words, I hope AR or his camp don't look at me, LeBron, and think these are words from me are coming from Rich. LeBron's actually acknowledging the chance of this. Like, he's actually acknowledging the chance that despite a close friendship and partnership with Austin Reeves, that this could get misconstrued. Because otherwise he would just say, dude, Austin Reeves is not worried about this. His camp is not worried about this. They know how I feel. Like, I don't need to in any way sweat this. Like, he's acknowledging the possibility of this bothering Team Reeves, bothering Austin. But then also, too, like, he's also trying to create some distance between him and Rich Paul, present this as separate entities. Like, it's not quite the same thing as when Giannis tried to present his agent talking to the Bucks about potential trades. Reportedly, is like, hey, that's just my agent talking, man. I got nothing to do with that. My agent, he wants to have conversations with the Bucks, so be it. It's like, no, dude, that's not how this works. Your agent works for you. If you really don't want him doing that, you say, stop doing that, or I'm firing you as my agent. This is not quite that, but it's going to be very difficult for LeBron to create, I think, that type of distance and plausible deniability, even though, if I'm being honest, I actually believe LeBron is telling the truth about this. I actually do think this is not LeBron trying to get Austin Reeves traded, just because by all accounts, appearances, everything I've heard, they get along really well. They play very well together. LeBron has given up a lot of ball handling and scoring, shot opportunities. Like, he ceded ground to Austin. So maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm completely naive. I'm actually willing to take LeBron's word that this is not him trying to Machiavelli Austin out of town. The problem is, though, there have been too many scenarios where LeBron or Rich Paul or both have created pressure or dropped the passive-aggressive hits, like where we know this stuff has happened before. So this becomes one of those occasions where even if LeBron is telling the truth, and again, I actually think he is, there are going to be people that don't believe him. And I understand why, because Rich Paul and LeBron have been so tied to each other and so connected, so on the same page. And again, we've seen them work in concert, trying to get things that they want, doing passive-aggressive stuff. There are going to be people that don't believe LeBron, even if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, man. You know, LeBron loves Austin Reeves, man. He's got LeBron wants Austin Reeves to teach him how to golf, man. You know, Rich Paul said it himself.
Oh, he's not. I know that's his golf pro. He's
his golf pro.
He's not looking to get his golf pro traded.
Exactly. Rich Paul said himself. He said he needs Austin Reeves, you know, to help him, get in the swing of things.
I mean, honestly, if Austin really cares about LeBron, until LeBron definitively decides to hang up the sneaks, his real goal should be keeping LeBron away from the course.
Yes.
Because it's at least somewhat believable that the golf is what led to the sciatica in the first place. It's somewhat like this golf addiction that LeBron cops to. Awesome for the post career. I don't know if it's great for the while still playing, but like this is a believability issue for LeBron that in a lot of ways is of his own making. Like I said, even though I can fully believe that he's being forthright when he says this is Rich Paul talking his own opinions. Because here's the other thing he doesn't do, DeAndre. He never says, yeah, I'd prefer he didn't. I'd prefer he didn't say this stuff, but what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
He never expresses any annoyance with it.
I will give him. He specifically said, "Hey, he has a mind of his own. Whatever Rich Paul says, that has nothing to do with me. I did not convince him. I did not tell him these things. We did not have conversations about anything in regards to trade scenarios with our team. Like, he has a strict mind of his own."
Yeah, which again may be true in this specific case. There's just so much backstory involving the Lakers and LeBron and Rich Paul and what has often been, I think, kind of a tension-filled, tenuous, maybe even adversarial relationship at times.
See, and that's another thing. Like, I seen a meme that popped up. You know, LeBron, whenever he, like, Lakers, like, there's a run and stuff like that happens, and, like, he looks towards the end of the bench, and it's like, oh, here comes another trade, stuff like that.
I know. Again, he's kind of, LeBron, even though I really do think he's telling the truth here, he's kind of made his own bed in terms of why people don't believe him. The Lakers Talk Injury Report, brought to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident. 800-345-6789. 1-800-345-6789, the easiest number on the planet to remember, which is really important if you happen to get into an accident. The Lakers put out the most recent injury report. Jackson Hayes has been upgraded to questionable. So that's good news. Hopefully what that means, at the very least, the imaging that he got on that hamstring showed nothing serious, because I can't imagine that if it was anything worrisome, particularly with the Lakers and a history of being pretty cautious with injuries, I wouldn't think that they would this quickly make him questionable if they weren't. I'm not saying he's going to play tomorrow versus Charlotte, but if they are not reasonably confident that this is not going to be a long absence, and that's obviously really good. We'll see how many minutes Rui Hachimura ends up playing tomorrow against the Hornets.
Don't you think he should just come off the bench for the rest of the season?
Yes.
I do too.
I do think, I am hoping this is kind of a soft launch. Like
Me too.
During this period where he is on as JJ Redick put it, severe minutes restriction. Never heard that before. Severe minutes restriction. He played
severe cold.
He played 18 last night, which was apparently the max he could go to. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow versus Charlotte, you get up to like 20, 22, something like that. But during this period where he's on a minutes restriction, he's going to very logically be playing off the bench. I'm hoping this is the soft launch into Rui eventually coming off the bench, playing like 28, 30 minutes off the bench. He's going to be an important player, even coming off the bench. But as we've talked about ad nauseum since the offseason, much less where we are now, it just balances the starting lineup more.
And I like Smart in the lineup
defense.
too.
Yeah.
Laravia, I mean.
Yeah. It provides more offense, defense balance. It actually spreads out the scoring more, where Rui can be the focal point of a bench that desperately needs more production. So, yes, my hope is, I've been pretty vocal about this, I would like to see Rui continue to come off the bench. Nothing he's done wrong. It just balances everything out better. Again, the Lakers Talk Injury Report, brought to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident. 800-345-6789. Again, 800-345-6789. As always, we close out with a little crunch time. Funchy's got the topics. DeAndre and I weigh in. That is coming up. Lakers Talk, 710 ESPN.
Your Lakers, your season, your home.
Tomorrow night in downtown LA, it's Lakers basketball at Crypto.com Arena. The purple and gold look to defend their home floor versus the Hornets.
Rebound Ayton. Got it to Smart. Length through the court pass to LeBron. What a pass by Smart. Lay it up and in.
LA Lakers, Charlotte Hornets from LA Live. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
The Lake Show lives here. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
For a century, the Genesis Invitational has stood as one of golf's greatest stages, where the game's legends make their mark and history is written.
It's official. The round that will long be remembered. Oh, yes! Ludwig Oberg.
February 19th through 22nd, celebrate 100 years of championship golf. Experience the drama, the tradition, and the moments that define the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets now at genesisinvitational.com.
What a year for LA sports. The Dodgers' epic Game 7 World Series victory. Shohei's unbelievable 3-homer 10 strikeout playoff masterpiece. Luka Doncic joining the Lakers. Were one of those your top sports moment of the year? Or was it Kershaw's emotional final game at Chavez Ravine? LAFC lending Sung Hung Min or something else? Cast your vote at lasports.org/vote. Winners will be announced at the Los Angeles Sports Council's 20th Annual LA Sports Awards on January 28th. Vote today at lasports.org/vote.
Mornings on 710 ESPN can get a little heated at times.
Oh my God, you're the guy. Get him, George. You're like that annoying guy who is on like social media, like saying stupid things. Like that's you.
I'm not on social media. I'm on the radio doing it.
Are you calling him a mongrel? Your sports takes at times can be just exhausting.
Well, that's good though.
It's the morning show with Sedano and Cap, where Sedano's patience gets tested daily. Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time. Download the Waba Rewards app today or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, keeping it real for you.
John Ireland here with the Hall of Famer, Big Game James Worthy for iSpot Active. Check out their website, ICEBODactive.com.
This new iSpot Active has given me an opportunity to ice at home. I don't have to go to a cryopod anymore. John, it works.
iSpot Active is an easier way to ice. Here's how it works. You put on these compression shirts or pants that form fits to your body with pockets that fit flexible, ice-cold gel packs. iSpot Active is wearable cryotherapy. No more strapping on ice bags and being immobilized.
It's designed for the person who comes home, doesn't have a lot of time, but they do want to ice while they're working on their laptop, while they're picking up their kids for soccer practice.
Everybody I know that has bought one of these things truly loves it. Got to get yours before they're sold out. See why Hall of Famer James Worthy swears by this stuff.
This is the new concept for icing, and I love it.
Take it from James Worthy. Start feeling better today at iSpotActive.com.
It's crunch time on Lakers Talk.
When the clock is ticking and it's all coming down to the wire, you know what that means.
This is crunch time.
All right, as always, we close out with a little crunch time on Lakers Talk. Funchy's got the topics. DeAndre and I are going to weigh in. What you got there, Funchy?
All right, I guess the big news of the week is Anthony Davis and what his hand, conflicting surgery, conflicting reports or whatever.
Oh, no, the Mavericks have actually made a statement that he does not require surgery.
Okay, yeah, and then now he's going to be out for 6 weeks.
I'm just clarifying the surgery.
Yeah, you're going to be out for 6 weeks instead of the whole year. And I don't know. It kind of makes me think that, they're going to trade him. I think they're going to trade him.
Well, I think they're going to try to trade him.
If they're saying like he's coming back in 6 weeks, so.
Well, here's the thing that I think is interesting about AD, because like 6 weeks with AD could turn into 6 months. Like everyone knows this with AD's injury history. But if I'm a team that is interested at all in Anthony Davis, which means by definition you are pricing in the injury risks. Like that's just unfortunately part of Anthony Davis's, that's part of the deal. I would be looking to trade for him right now because I would figure the price would be as low as it's going to be, given that there's this uncertainty about when he's going to be back. The Mavs, sure, they might say, let's keep him around so maybe we can raise the price. But as we've seen from last season to where we are now, you can't bank on that with Anthony Davis. So if I'm a team that is interested in him at all, and I'm going to worry about the extension piece of this later, you have to be willing to possibly let him just walk. Hope that a year and a half with Anthony Davis, you get your championship. I think now actually is the time to trade for him. You might get the best deal possible.
And, I did a little research like I normally do since I'm a producer at the station. The trade deadline is about 3 weeks and a couple days away. He's coming back in 6 weeks. So, let's just say you're a contender.
Well, he's going to be reevaluated. Yeah. He's not definitively going to be back.
Let's say you're a contender and you're interested in Anthony Davis. You're sort of hanging around the playoff race.
Yeah.
Why not? He's going to be back. He could be back in 6 weeks. Man.
It depends on what you have to give up. And again, if you are interested in AD, I think now's the time to trade for him.
Yeah, I do too.
I
think Dallas is going to be sellers now because of the injury and this lost season. So
yeah, I mean, Tim McMahon has said that it wouldn't shock him. You know, he covers all things Texas NBA and knows the Mavs well. That it would not surprise him if AD wasn't moved and they actually look to see what everything looks like with Flag and Kyrie and AD, and they still might end up losing a bunch of games, keeping a high pick, and then they bring it all back.
Yeah, I know they want that high pick because this draft is supposed to be really, better than last year's draft.
I just feel like if I'm them, I would be looking to get as many cracks at young players as possible. Just AD's timeline doesn't really fit.
All right, we'll go from AD to Ja Morant, and speculation running wild that he's going to be leaving Memphis. I've seen the one team I've seen in the rumors, and I don't know if this makes sense for Ja, given his off-court, stuff or whatever that goes on in his world. Miami. Miami doesn't sound like a good place for Ja.
Well, on one hand...
on the court, it does, On the court, he got Spoelstra, he got Pat Riley, he got some discipline. But off the court, no.
That's what
No, not Miami life.
You don't picture Ja avoiding some of the temptations in South Beach?
No.
Florida loose gun laws.
Yeah, that too. I didn't even think about that, Andy.
Yeah.
What about him being in a Miami Heat uniform, knowing that Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra are going to be breathing down your neck and making sure you don't do anything dumb?
He's going to be drinking coffee in Little Havana and staying out in the clubs till 5 a.m.
By the way, this is all speculation, but someone put out a tweet that Ja Morant has already bid into a house in Miami.
Yes, I saw that, and that's something else I was going to bring up, DeAndre. Okay. Like, he just so happened to bought a house recently in Miami.
Look, could that mean something? Sure, could mean something. But as the 2007 offseason, when Kobe demanded a trade and there was all the speculation, remember Kevin Garnett? There had been all this speculation that he was going to be a Laker.
Oh, yeah, because he had a house in Malibu.
Had a house in Malibu.
Training in Malibu, everything on the beach.
You know what we learned from that summer? We've seen it repeated a lot since. A lot of these guys have houses in L.A. because L.A.'s awesome and they're stupid rich. Like, that's actually the reason. It's not because they all want to be Lakers. It's because they like having places to chill.
LA's a nice town.
Yes. Like, Kevin Garnett is stupid
Who
rich.
doesn't want an In-N-Out burger?
Kevin Garnett.
From Whataburger.
Kevin Garnett can just have all the In-N-Out gold-bellied to him wherever he happens to be living.
Those are good.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, he can. We learned that off season. All these guys have houses in L.A. because they're just stupid rich. But John Miami that is the ultimate stress test for hashtag heat culture.
Yes. Like, that is really.
That's really where we learn. Like, is heat culture a real thing or is it BS?
They need a guard. Just saying, and he still has talent.
What would they give up Tyler Hero for him?
No way to give up Tyler Hero. No way.
So you think it's just like expirings and picks, or like
Possibly.
they're not going to give up like Khalil Ware. They're not going to give up someone like him.
I mean, like, do you think he's going to go in the same market as Desmond Bain? What, 4 picks, draft picks?
No, but like, oh, you mean Ja?
Ja, that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, he's not.
I'm saying so.
No, he is not.
4 second-round picks.
Well, maybe the reason they'd want to give up Tyler Hero is just to get off Hero's money. Like, they just feel like we've gone as far with Tyler Hero as we can.
I thought that's the point, to pair them both together, because Hero wants to be more in a 2-guard position.
Let me tell you. You think you've got concerns about Luka and Austin as a backcourt defensively? Let me introduce you to Ja Morant and Tyler Hero.
Ooh,
like
a green light special there.
That would make Luka and Austin look like the bad boy Pistons. Thank you, as always, to the Lakers Talk audience for being there, calling in, listening, watching. Thank you to Iztok Franko for calling, hooking up this thing from Slovenia. Follow him on Twitter at Iztok_Franko. Thanks, as always, to Bunchy and DeAndre for being here. We will be back next Monday after the championship game, 7:10 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA sports talk.
Little known fact, Bryce Young, who went to Mater Dei, then he went to Alabama and won the Heisman Trophy, grew up
listening to Mason in Ireland. I'm at a Laker game one day, and I see Bryce Young. He goes, John Ireland. I go, Bryce Young. I go, I'm surprised you know who I am. He goes, I grew up in Southern California, man. I've been listening to you for years.
Makes you feel good.
I'm a huge Laker fan. Could not have been nicer.
Mason in Ireland, weekdays at noon on 710 ESPN.
Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, skip agents, commissions, and costly repairs. Get a fair, competitive cash offer without worrying about the details falling through. Chris Chavez, a real customer, says, quote, Seller's Advantage offered me more than I expected. The process was fast, easy, and much better than using a realtor. End quote. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.